I'm sure you've heard somewhere along the way in your life, maybe even several times, that you need to earn respect, that we are supposed to earn it. And it's not just something that you give. But my question to you is, do you respect yourself? And what have you done to earn your own respect? Because if you don't respect you, no matter what somebody else does to try to earn the respect from you, you're not going to be able to give it because you don't really know what it feels like. You don't have the capability within you to give something to somebody else that you don't have for yourself. So, a lot of what I do is stemmed around the idea of respect. Because when you know your process and you understand how you do things best and you accept it and love it about yourself, and you're not trying to fight against it, thinking you'd be better if you were somewhere using some of these traits and you don't see these as your gifts, that's always going to be a problem for you. And you may not think about it in these terms because you're not thinking strengths. Oh, well, geez, I guess the ideation strength is actually a gift. That's not the way many of us think. But you may be thinking, well, I spend too much time daydreaming and I come up with all these willy-nilly ideas that don't really matter anyway. And I don't actually do anything with them. So what's the point of it? That's not respecting. And then when you feel that way about yourself, no matter what somebody else does to try to earn you giving it to them, you're not going to be able to. So even though you might not know these words and this idea of process and all of that yet, you're still thinking and feeling in these terms without realizing it and having the awareness of that. It's happening. So if you get more of a control of yourself and you feel confident in how you do things best, and you accept and embrace the fact that it's okay that I'm not these things. I don't do things as well when I think about them from this lens versus my natural way of doing things. Then you gain that respect for yourself. And then you set it up so that people give you the respect in return because we people treat us the way we allow them to, period. If you're being walked all over, guess what? You've laid yourself down like a welcome mat. And that's why you're being walked over because you don't have that respect and confidence within yourself. And you don't then demand it of other people. You exude it and you welcome it and you show people this is how you respect me because this is how I'm showing you I respect myself. You don't have to walk around telling people you have to respect me because of this. That's not going to work. You do it first. You show it, you live it, you breathe it, and then it naturally, more naturally, comes back to you. And then this leads into the topic of expectations. Well, I expect you to respect me because I'm your manager. I have this title at work, or I'm your spouse, or whatever it is, whatever title or label somebody wants to put on themselves. And that's why they think that they can set the expectations for everybody else to rise up and meet that lands in a respect. That doesn't work either. Because every time you say the word respect, you are setting up an immediate hierarchy. You must rise to my level. You must see me the way that I want you to. You must do things the way that I want you to. You must live your life in the way that I want you to, instead of living your life in the way that works for you and you wanting to get to whatever the expectation is. So I often suggest to clients that we replace all expectations with respectations. If it is if it is foundation, if it has a foundation of respect, then people will want to rise up and hit whatever it is that you set as the expectation anyway. And you'll probably have more of a chance of them meeting it or exceeding it that way because you're respecting one another. By respecting yourself, you respect the position, you respect the desired common outcome, and you show what all of that is. You talk about it together. You understand how they're going to approach getting there because their approach of meeting or getting to your expectation is not going to be through the same path that you would take to get there. They're going to go a different way. And if you respect their way, does it really matter how they get there as long as you guys are at the just common desired outcome? I will say those words over and over again. So maybe reframe the way that you have always thought about respect. Think about it in terms of coming from yourself first. What does that look like? What does that entail? And how can you present it authentically, naturally? And how can you replace those expectations with respectations and not getting so caught up in the micromanaging of how everybody else is going about getting there and respecting the fact that they have a different process than what you do. And as long as you're working for the same common desired outcome, that's what matters.